Hi, I'm David Coe. My friend Richard Bislato and I have been involved in your community for since the beginning of the year. And we got in touch through Morris, who talked to us about just all the potential and things that you can do. And we got very interested in it. We have worked before as investment managers for 30 years, and we left the industry a couple of years ago. We left because we saw that investments are making climate change worse. Climate change is simply driving the weather crazy, and it's caused by more oil, gas, and coal being used across the world. And each year we use a little bit more, when what we need to do is to use a lot less. And the result is weather is simply becoming too much. It's either too hot or too cold, too stormy or too dry. And I'm sure you've been experiencing this. And countries are running out of water because of it. Crops are failing and poultry are dying, and even the rich are being washed out of their homes. And this is not something we can change back. We're past that point. It is bankrupting countries, and everyone is affected. But no one feels they have the power to do anything to stop it from getting worse. And Richard and I know that to protect our own selves and our families, we have to let people know that they do have the power to do something. And it starts with having the power to know they can make their lives better. And this is where Morris came in, and your story is so very important. He said that you are a community with great talents and potentials, and that we wanted to see how, if we can help you and him to contribute towards making your lives better. And it was a perfect opportunity for us to see whether that is actually the case. People can make their lives better, and if they can do that, we will be able to feel that we can do something about the climate too. So we got involved initially with funding the lining for the water punts, and we gave some money to help set up a music studio with Morris. However, the real change actually came from yourselves when you saw that there were opportunities with avocados that were discarded from the farms. And we showed Morris a picture of an oil press, and you took that and brought the community together into becoming a business. We helped you with some money along the way, but the real value lay in what you did for yourselves. We wish we could be here with you in person to tell you how much we see the value and the potential that you have, but we can't, so we've made this recording instead. And we want to say that the lip balm you're creating is very interesting because of your story. The initial idea about the avocado, the next thing that you did in making an oil press, then in recognizing it's not possible to make enough oil simply to make vegetable oil, and to know that beeswax, with it, you can actually make lip balm. And all this shows you have tremendous resourcefulness, and that's still not the full story. Coming together to work out a business plan and thinking about the pricing and the costs and working out how you may distribute it and having the technology skills to push it forward. These are business skills that will help you with every project that you may do, and they are of great value in themselves. They are what brings everything that you have together, and people from outside will look onto and think, this is a community that is really demonstrating that in any circumstances, we will always be able to find resources and opportunities, and we will always be able to make our lives better. Morris explained that the name you chose is halisi, and explained that it means authentic. And when we look at how you bring your ideas together and the community that you bring forth and the way in which you turn all that into a business, we understand this is exactly right. This is what's so authentic about your venture, and that's why we actually think that halisi is the word that describes it so well. And we see that you are now at a point where you need to recognize that this is your real value, much more than the lip balm that you're making. The community that can come together in this way and bring all the different talents to bear. The lip balm may or may not sell. We cannot know that. We can hope for the best, and we can price for what we think we will want to sell it at. But if it does sell, it's only going to sell because of your story. and your halisi story. And that's why we say you have to be telling it in a way that will build up interests. And Morris has said that your local officials are excited, and you can use that to bring in more interests. And this way, you have a market for your product before you've even made it, because they'll be expecting it. And actually, that's how you can get your interest to help support the challenges that you face ahead. And this way, you will be able to think, can I actually produce some money as income along the way so that I know I can continue to the next step? And in doing so, you complete the business. The value is not in the lip balm. It is in the resourcefulness that you have. The roadblock with the electricity is typical with any business. There are always costs and there are always surprises along the way, and there are always ways to manage what it is. And the important thing is to very strong control of your budget. It's very easy to say we need more money at every point where there is an issue. But the real question is, how can you get that money and where can you get it from? And how do you make sure you only spend what is absolutely necessary? You're more than a single product. You have all your other skills, and they can be means by which you can actually bring in some revenues. And you have your traditional knowledge, your craftsmanship, your labor, your technology skills, your project management skills, communication skills, and all of that. You have a community that encourages each other and gives space to people and has room for people from the outside too. And that, when you start thinking about it more broadly, you're going to find a way past the junction that you're at. And this is what Richard and I are investing. That resourcefulness that empowers you. And we want you to recognize it. We like the lip balm, but we only like it because of your story. And we think your story is what is going to make it sell. And our own investment experience is very harsh. You cannot invest in every good idea, and you cannot put money to every situation that needs it. If you do that, all will happen is you spend more than you ever earn, and that's the route down into bankruptcy. But there's always a way for a next step, and that is what we want you to think through. And this is a transformational juncture, because what it is, what we see is this is the point where the business takes on its own life, where it escapes from being guided and actually being taken by what you think as funding that comes from outside, to actually saying, as a community and as a business community, how do we make it to the next step? We're very excited about the prospect of that for you, even though we cannot be with you. And don't lose sight of what you have achieved. Don't think that you cannot do this, and recognize that you have a lot to offer, much more than the lip balm that you're trying to make. Your initiatives, your resourcefulness, and your support for each other are what will make this work, and we'll see you through the challenges now, as well as the challenges that climate change and its crazy weather will bring on. So God bless you all.